DJ keeps the party going. Brandon E brings the heat. We don't know how to speak. Running wild on you, brother. We're over the top. Rocking it back to the vintage scene. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. With epic thumbnails from the vids. It's a must-see. Gonna bring you the best. Legends you remember from the ring and silver screen. We're over the top. Get ready for a good time.
Bow! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, a.k.a. Chatty Bobby Olimdori.
Hello, it's me again. My name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th. I was going for that Lionel Richie song, but
I thought that's where you was going, then you pivoted.
Yeah, I shifted. I couldn't stick the rest of it.
Yeah.
And Hot Mike Chance.
Just regular
Just
blame.
simple.
Just
we'll
regular.
keep it simple.
That's it. Some of the best are just kiss. Keep it simple,
Yep.
stupid. That's it.
Hell yeah. We're back, guys. What episode is this? Episode
170.
170 episodes.
We're
dude.
on that downhill
That's-
climb to 200.
It's 30 away
me,
from
sorry for the
200
birthday
if my
dude.
math is right.
Yeah, you get the math right. You're a regular mathematician.
You're good at math. We're back, guys. We're talking wrestling. We're talking shitty wrestling.
Shitty wrestling matches.
Shitty wrestling matches. What is this? What are we calling this? Worst gimmick matches?
Worst match gimmicks,
Worst
something
match
like
gimmicks?
that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
We've got a list that Tony has found online, and we're just going to kind of spitball off of that list.
Yeah.
There are so many more, I'm sure, that are worse
There's
or
a
as
bunch.
bad as what's on here, but this can be revisited with the other fellas. We're with the three-man bands here today, but we could always revisit this again with Pudge or with
Anybody.
DJ or Brandon E for sure, or any of the guests that are fans of wrestling. But let's get right into it, man.
I mean, there's been some bad ones. The one that sticks out to me the most is the Punjabi prison match. That
One of the
that
worst.
Great Khali.
Anything with Great Khali was one of the worst matches of all time.
Yep.
But that Punjabi prison match, it's just it was such a bad idea. They tried so hard to put him over, and nobody gave a fuck about
Poor
Great
Batista.
Khali.
Poor Batista had to go through that. I'm not the biggest Batista fan, but I felt bad for him having to go through that. I felt bad for the guys that had to put that damn thing together.
Yeah.
It just
They sold a toy of that, too.
yeah, they sold like the whole wrestling set to it. They tried pushing it so hard, and I think they maybe used it twice.
Yeah.
And Khali was in both of
Both
those
of 'em.
matches, and the
And
dude
both
couldn't
of 'em
even
were
move.
bad.
Yeah.
Both of them were bad.
Yeah, I mean, just a bamboo structure just all around the ring. And what kind of name is that? It sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Punjabi prison sounds definitely like something sketch.
You got one for his chance?
And I remember seeing the hog pin match with Triple H at the time, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Henry Godwin.
Dude, I thought he was
So
legit
terrible.
covered in shit.
Yeah.
I did.
I thought Henry Godwin was a legit farmer.
Yeah, he fooled a lot of us.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
What was the other guy? What was,
Phineas.
yeah.
He was Phineas I. Godwin, which was Pig. His initials were Pig. And then Henry was Henry O. Godwin, which was Hog.
I never put that
I was
together.
today years old.
You know.
Pig and hog, god dang it.
I never
Then they
got
had
that.
Hillbilly Jim.
I hate
was there.
WWE, dude.
I loved Hillbilly Jim, though.
Yeah.
Hillbilly
me
Jim,
too.
dude.
I
Hillbilly
loved,
Jim
but
was the
I
OG.
never put those together
Yeah.
like that.
But that was,
crazy
to me,
work.
that was almost one of my favorite Triple H. Like, I think he did so good with that character.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
just being that the blue
Snobby
blood,
blue-
the snobby, and then just covered in pig shit.
Mhm.
Like
He sold it well. Yep.
That's nasty. But I never put that
Yeah.
together. And then Phineas he went into
He was Midian. He became Midian.
running around in his little briefs.
Yep.
No. Another one that sticks out to me too that I don't recall this match too awful well, probably for a reason, but the Kennel from Hell match with Al Snow and Big Boss Man. Do you?
I think that was at like Armageddon '99.
I blocked out that whole storyline because the whole storyline was Boss Man killed the dog and fed it to him. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I just blocked all that horrible shit out. I hated that.
Yeah, that second run of Boss Man during that time was not too gracious at all.
No,
He didn't look very good during that match either.
No, it was,
during that time, that's when he got hung from the
yeah,
Hell in a Cell?
that was a very, very bad time in the Attitude Era. I felt like that at least that kind of stuff, and then the Mae Young Mark Henry thing.
Yeah, that was during that
ridiculous.
time too.
There was the choppy PP. Like it got with contact. It got really, really bad, man. The Attitude Era, we talk about it being the best time in wrestling, and for a lot of reasons it was, but it was also some of the worst shit WWE ever did.
Yeah.
They just don't. It just gets swept under the rug because Stone Cold and The Rock and DX and Mankind was, but it was such big high points.
Yeah.
There were very, very low shitty points at that time.
This is very true.
And it got looked over because of Stone Cold
Yeah.
and The Rock,
That's
essentially.
Great comparison. That's a great
And
point.
if you go and watch, I've tried over the years multiple times to go back and watch some of those old Raw is War episodes, and other than Stone Cold stuff, it's shitty.
Yeah.
Like the matches sucked. There wasn't really a lot of good wrestling. It was very, I don't know, man. It
was your main card guys that were
relied heavily on the main card guys. WCW had the good wrestling. They just fucked off all the main card spots.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like
The promos and everything in the in-ring talks were the key part, and the last 30 minutes of the show were the highlights of Raw.
yeah, for sure.
When you had a whole show of good wrestling on Nitro. But WCW had some bad stuff. They had some bad matches, gimmicks and everything too. I mean, you had the Chamber of Horrors match from back in the day. That was where they electrocuted Abdullah the Butcher and all that. We've talked about that match specifically on an episode. But that was terrible. I mean, you even had Judy Bagwell on a forklift for a match back in the day in WCW.
I mean, so bad, man.
Freaking
I
Judy
don't
Bagwell.
understand. And that was when I never really got into WCW like that crazy, but especially during that time.
Yeah, that was right there at the end. That was Vince Russo WCW, which was,
The fact that ever even was a thing is insane.
well, kudos to him for
Yeah.
that genius of an idea.
One of the craziest WCW ones I remember is the King of the Road match with Blacktop Bully and Dustin Rhodes. They're just at the time when I first saw it as a kid, I thought it was cool, but going back and watching it, you're like,
No,
Didn't they fire them after that match?
Yeah.
because they were busted. I think one of them got busted open, or both.
Well,
of
I
them.
mean, y'all are putting them
Yeah.
in a goddamn
like a trailer.
and going down the road, and then y'all gonna fire them for getting color.
Makes
It's like,
total
what do you
sense.
expect, man? Like they're trying not to. Whatever.
Yep.
WCW, dude.
That's prime WCW. I mean, no, that was early WCW,
No,
but
it
right around the Chamber of Horrors times and everything. So, but one thing that I know ECW was big on these kind of matches, but the scaffolding matches, that was a recipe for disaster at all times. Everybody was always trying to be so careful around them and everything like that. It just I never had any intrigue in the scaffolding matches. I mean, freaking New Jack almost killed a guy throwing him off of one. What was his name?
Which one?
That New Jack threw him off the scaffolding, tried killing him.
Mass Transit?
Yeah, was that him?
No.
I think
Vic Grimes.
Vic
Vic
Grimes.
Grimes.
Okay, that's-
Mass Transit's the one he almost stabbed. Well,
Yeah.
he stabbed the big young kid that he stabbed in the forehead and almost killed him.
Yeah. But Vic Grimes is the one they threw off the scaffolding just as
Because trying to
As
make
a
a
receipt,
miss.
because he did a match with Vic Grimes, and Vic Grimes fucked up a spot, and it ended up cracking New Jack's skull, and he was leaking brain fluid and shit like that. So as a receipt, he said, and New Jack's
New
rest in
Jack
peace,
being
New
New Jack.
But New Jack said, I missed. I intended to throw him to the floor and kill him. And I was off a little bit, essentially what he said, and he hit the ropes. Luckily, he hit the ropes and survived.
Yeah, thank goodness, because the video of that is brutal. But I was never a big fan, also, to anything on a pole match.
No, the pole, it just was so, I just never got the pole match, the coal miner's glove match.
Yeah.
Was that Jake
was-
Snake and Sting or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Dustin Rhodes and Blacktop Bully had a coal miner on the pole match. Coal miner glove on the pole match too.
To back off their
Probably-
King of the Road match.
I mean,
Yep.
just ruining it.
Yeah, poor Dustin. Poor Dustin. But we talked about it a few weeks ago. The nightstick on a pole match with Big Boss Man and Nails was just atrocious. Anything on a pole.
Yeah,
is
anything on a
just-
pole. I wasn't a fan of whatever that dumb shit WCW used to do too. That had the 4 boxes in the damn corner. Was it that you had to not break the boxes?
Oh.
what the fuck was that shit?
Yeah.
Booker T and all that.
And then they had RoboCop in the prison cell that Sting broke out that one time.
Yep.
Dude.
So awful. Did we talk about the spot, the Chamber of Horrors or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where Abdullah the Butcher getting electrocuted with, was it Rick Steiner doing the worst belly-to-belly power slam into a
So
chair?
bad. And then, I mean, it was clearly not even on his head.
Yeah.
He was like,
Cactus Jack over there waiting on to get the signal to flip the switch and everything. It was
so bad, dude.
such a...
And so much of it is WCW related. So much of the bad gimmicks.
There was one, I can't remember what they called it, but Macho Man and Hulk Hogan had to start out and they had to go up the different chambers and I think like Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and some of the Dungeon of Doom was in it.
That's right. That was another WCW gimmick right there. Was that... And then what was the whole when what's his name from David Arquette won the title and all that stuff? There was a huge gimmicky match with that. And everything.
Yeah.
Just terrible. Just some of these. Who possibly thinks that? Yeah, this is what I have an idea for. We're gonna put this out here and it's gonna sell tickets. And it falls flat.
Yeah.
Anything with electricity. Now. The fire matches I can get down with. When Kane and Undertaker had that
The
whole
Inferno match.
the Inferno match, that was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Was it dangerous as hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked cool.
Yeah.
Some of these others, no.
Yeah, I mean, the casket matches were cool. I wouldn't say they were bad gimmicks. You just knew what to expect from those, the buried alive matches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But definitely anything that was on a pole, count me out. I don't want anything to do with anything on a pole matches.
What was it? And then you had the blindfold match with Jake the Snake and Rick Martel.
Yeah,
that was
where when we went back and watched it. It was clear that
they
you
could see
could
through
right through them. But that was the early on stages of like gimmick matches. They didn't do a lot of them back then, but that was the early stages of one, and they never did it again, did they?
No, not that I know of.
But there's been a lot of shitty ones, man.
Vince Russo had a great idea of a Viagra on a pole match between Billy Kidman and Shane Douglas.
WCW in the year 2000 and
Did I put
2001
Tori Wilson up there?
alone should be studied. I mean, you talk about how some of that stuff got through and they put it on television is insanity.
Yeah.
With what WCW was doing 2 years prior to that. In 98, towards the tail end of that huge NWO Monday Night War run, some of the things that, I mean, it was just insane, some of the stuff that Vince Russo was doing. And then, like you said, you do the whole gimmick matches. It wasn't necessarily a match, but like the whole Mark Henry, Mae Young that we was talking about. But even some of the stuff back then with WWF, when they were power bombing Mae Young through tables and
bra and panty matches. And stuff
like some
evening
of that,
gown matches.
the way that they
Chocolate pudding matches.
Yeah, some of that stuff they were doing just for the scantily clad stuff because they were trying to appeal to that demographic. And as a middle schooler, I was all for it.
Oh yeah,
I was like, we're gonna get to see the cat in a bikini, sure, But like looking back, it's like this shit was awful,
awful. And then you had Gerald Briscoe and
Pat Patterson.
bra and panties match with them two
evening
dudes.
Gown, a hardcore evening gown bra and panties match.
Yep.
Which totally we find out now. I mean, R.I.P. Pat Patterson. That was all because he probably wanted to do that. Because he, and shout out to Pat Patterson.
Whatever.
But that shit was probably his idea.
Yeah,
Or he wasn't going to turn that down. I'm sure Gerald Briscoe was like, "What the fuck are we going to do?"
Then Harvey Wimpleman and the announcer.
Jerry Lawler.
No, the ring announcer, old school ring announcer. I'm blanking on his name again. Howard Finkel.
Howard Finkel. Yes.
I'm sorry, Howard. I'm sorry, but them two in a tuxedo match, where it's basically like an evening gown match. The way
the
that
two
you
smallest
win,
guys on the roster.
The way you win is strip off the tuxedo. So nobody wanted to see that.
One of them probably had a thong on or something.
Probably, yep.
It's just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Too much for me, son.
A newer one that I was not a fan of, the House of Horrors match that Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton had. It was more one of those cinematic matches and all that, and that one just didn't. Like the Undertaker and AJ Styles cinematic match was good and everything. This one just didn't hit.
Yeah.
I get what they were going for, but it's just,
I I didn't like the AJ Undertaker one. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. I don't want to say it's a bad gimmick match.
Yeah.
I get what they were trying to. I just wasn't a big fan of it, but I really didn't like that other one.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole cinematic style matches.
Yeah, it was too much of a change.
Because they get that idea probably from Matt Hardy and everything, because he was doing that with TNA, him and the Hardy.
They 100% took
were
it
doing
from Matt
like,
Hardy.
with the whole cinematic style, like movie whole match and everything.
And I'm pretty sure I saw a clip from something. I don't know if it was AEW or TNA or something, where Jeff Hardy just had a match with that one dude, and it was this ridiculous ladder match. Darby
Darby
Allin.
Allin.
Oh, dude, that dude has. I don't think he has a pain tolerance whatsoever.
Bro, I think it was recent. It was a match they had, and he did some triple flip off the top of a ladder onto Jeff Hardy that was on top of 6 ladders. And
Yeah, they do.
y'all are still
Then
doing
they
that
probably
shit,
both
bro?
just stood right up.
Yeah, they were doing some crazy stuff over there in AEW. There's some of their stipulation on matches is insane. It's they push that. What is it? The CZW, like hardcore, like I forget deathmatch. They push that deathmatch limits, which
It's
is
gonna get them CTEs. What's gonna get them?
But I'm not a fan of that like heavily overused stuff when it comes to the matches and everything. I don't know. Maybe that's just the
me
old school
neither.
with me and everything. I don't know. It's over processed, I guess, in a way.
100%. A lot of it was just trying to. I don't know what their goal was with a lot of that stuff that we talked about just in this episode. Like with some of that stuff, what the thought process was when they were booking it.
Yeah.
What was the thought process for Brawl for All?
That's one of the worst gimmick matches of all time because they made. I mean, they were trying to make it not a gimmick and make it a shoot, and that's my favorite episode of all of the Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh man, it's so good.
Is the Brawl for All episode. And just seeing how insane that idea even was. And it all stemmed from Vince Russo being mad at Bradshaw. Because Bradshaw was cocky in the locker room, said he could whoop anybody. So Vince Russo said, well, let's just see if you can beat everybody up for real. And because he was mad at Bradshaw, he got all them other wrestlers hurt. And
Yeah.
caused,
Dr. Death's career ended.
yeah, and here's one thing I'll say about that. They were saying, you blew all this money we spent on Dr. Death. He was going to have a run with Austin. For one, that wouldn't have done shit.
No, it would.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Stone Cold would not have drawn shit.
No, I
For
agree with
one.
that
Steve
wholeheartedly.
Williams versus Steve Williams
Yeah, right.
for the battle of Steve Williams on a pole match.
Hearing them talk about that, even back then, like nobody cared
No.
one way or the other about Dr. Death. And just,
Except for Jim Ross.
yeah, Jim Ross. And I just can't imagine that have being a thing and people cared about it.
No, no, he was way past his prime and everything and all that. And then what they did to Bart Gunn for going
They
out there
set him
just
up, boy. Butterbean, shout out me and D Cravo album available now with a song called Butterbean actually. But Butterbean, they set him up for failure on that Butterbean situation.
yeah. And Butterbean knew it too. He's just,
Butterbean said, "Bro, you really? I mean, I'm gonna knock him out so quick."
yeah,
and
he did.
it looked like he killed it. A couple of those knockouts looked like it could have ended in death for
Yeah.
some of those wrestlers. The way that they fell because they're not
They were
boxers,
just out
bro.
there fighting.
They're
They were
just,
just
yeah,
out
they're
there
not
fighting.
fighting. Yeah.
I mean, and there was some bad dudes in that whole thing.
Yeah, blowing their knees out. I think what I mean, like all that shit that happened. I think Godfather got hurt.
Yeah,
you
bunch
know?
of, like pretty much everybody that was in it that ended up getting hurt, which
Yeah.
I tuned in for. Which like it's once again at that time it seemed cool as hell, but going back and watching it, like especially that Dark Side of the Ring, it just puts it whole into perspective. That is just one of the worst ideas
100%.
ever.
Yeah, because it was probably around the same time that UFC and all that stuff really started and like started to get not super popular, but people started doing the
Yeah.
VHSs and all that. I bet it was pretty close to that time.
Yeah. Another match that never made sense to me back in the Attitude Era though was the first blood match at King of the Ring with Stone Cold and Kane. It was always constantly getting stopped by the referee checking for blood and all that. I hated that stipulation.
Yeah, the stoppage was too much during that match. They couldn't get no good flow of it.
Yeah, but yeah, This is a fun. Like I said, this is more of one I'd like to get into when.
It's like an introductory episode to what could come from it. Like,
Yeah, we're getting
you can
into
break
it,
it down
especially with BJ and Brandon, because they get some. I'm sure they could pull out some heaters with this one too.
Well, plus when you go, you could break it down into the specific federations, like
Yeah.
WWE's worst gimmick matches, WCW's, TNA's, ECW's. You know,
Yeah, because there's some TNA ones on here that I'm not familiar with that probably BJ would be more familiar with than anybody.
yeah, because I really watched TNA heavily, like 04, 05, 06, and some of 07, because I wasn't watching WWE then. I started back watching WWE. Me and Brandon, well, Brandon had stayed watching it. When me and Brandon lived together back then, he got me back into watching it.
Yeah.
So that 4 or 5 year gap, and then I stopped kind of watching TNA. Especially stopped watching it once Hogan and all them went over there in like 2010.
And just ruined everything.
Yeah, and it's just like
That's probably where all the gimmicky style matches came into effect. It was when Hogan and all of them came into the fold and all that. So, but yeah, this is another episode we'll have to touch into with Brandon and BJ. Did you have any more that stuck out to you or anything?
Just Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, custody of Dominic on the pole match.
Yeah.
Or on the ladder match.
Yeah, that one was out there. And then Rey Mysterio had one recently, too, with Seth Rollins, the eye for an eye match and everything, all that kind of stuff, which didn't really pan out too well.
No.
I'm not one more thing I'll say too. I'm not really a fan either of matches where people have to like take their mask off if they lose and shit like that. What was the match that made Kane do that? Who was it was it Triple H?
I think.
I don't remember who he fought, but
like in the whole we just me and Chance watched that AAA match with El Grande Americano, the versus each other match for the mask versus match. That match was phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good.
And the whole build up to that match was very old school feeling and everything. It had like a big match feel to it. I guess that has a lot to do with Taker's writing, producing that whole show and everything.
I'm sure, yeah.
But that whole mask versus mask match was phenomenal. Just the whole build during the whole match. I mean, just the upset. It was very old school feeling.
Yep.
Very good storytelling with that whole story. I'm curious of what is to happen with Chad Gable now and everything.
Think he's going to be a babyface now. He saved Rey Mysterio recently on Raw. Yep.
Well, hopefully he gets the
him out.
push he deserves, because that's one dude we've talked about it numerous times that's been undervalued on the roster. That's just as good as anybody.
And Kane did lose his mask to Triple H.
Triple H, what I figured. Burial,
That's when he had
side burial.
the hairline that was back
Yeah.
here and everything.
Yep.
That's one of the worst decisions they ever did was demasking Kane.
100%.
Yep.
He looked so good with the mask.
Yeah, he was the best with the mask, and then took his mask off. And
Yeah, just an easy breezy episode this week.
facts, man. Y'all comment below, wrestling fans that are watching this. What are y'all's biggest gimmick matches that you couldn't stand? What are y'all's thoughts on what we thought of some of these? What are some other ones? What would y'all like to see more as far as wrestling content from us? Because really the possibilities are endless now with this podcast. We can kind of move, and we've got so many different facets to Over the Top as a brand now and as a channel that we can kind of do a little bit of everything now, from the Collector's Corner and the Rapid Reviews, and then we're going to start getting into more music-related episodes because we've got 3 or 4 people that are regulars on this podcast that are artists, musicians. So that's going to be fun to see. I'm looking forward to the physical media aspect of the episodes and going down the pipeline.
Yep.
But y'all just let us know what you think, man. We'll be bringing y'all more heat again next week. Next week is a movie episode.
Yes.
So it's going to be, you want to go ahead and tell them what it is?
Yeah, it's about aliens.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrials.
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to K-Duck.
Yep.
Shout out to Revolution One Media. Shout out to the Gaggle of Wrestlers. And K-Duck is who provided us with all those dope-ass ducks, those dads down there in the front. So shout out to her.
Yeah, you can only call her K-Duck and Art and
Yeah, don't call her that in any other live chat, just on Over the Top. Shout out to K-Duck.
Yeah, shout
out.
But we appreciate everybody's continued support, man. We are the little engine that could over here, just having fun in our own little world. Just a bunch of homies that just love nostalgic stuff, and man, we're glad to be able to bring you guys 170 episodes of this podcast.
Yep, and all just hitting you with all kinds of content from now on and all that too. From like you said, the Collector's Corner to Rapid Reviews, the daily clips. You got content coming out from us constantly, so we appreciate y'all more than you know.
Facts.
You got anything?
Nope, just everything y'all said.
Okay, then.
Shout out to Sanchez Turner. Bow.
We out this motherfucker.
Over the top with Chad and Tony, talking about movies and wrestling. Hot mic chance joins the team, hating on me, Gene. BJ the DJ keeps the party going.